Welcome and thank you for joining us for the Factor Uncensored tonight. Now, in the over 50 years that the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics has been keeping track, the share of black Americans who are employed has consistently been lower than the share of white Americans with paid jobs. And there are still no changes in sight. David Lee, chief evangelist and visionary for tech diversity, joins us on the Factor to talk about what is the cause of this disparity and if the DEI movement plays a role. So, David, what we have seen over the last year is a significant increase in the unemployment numbers for black people here in America, African Americans. So how did we get to this place?
A number of factors, really. Specifically in the tech factor, right? When we had this recent economic shift, a lot of these tech companies realized that it's not 2020 anymore, right? Money's not free, and all the overspending that they did on specific positions, they need to cut, right? The most expensive resource running a company is, unfortunately, the human resources. And so when we see this type of shift, especially in the tech sector, you see all these massive layoffs. I can say in the tech sector, it hits African-American black people harder because the tech space is very networky, right? It's about like who you know and who knows you. And quite honestly, a lot of people just hire like who they know. And when you look across these tech companies, you don't see a lot of black faces running them. You see a lot of the same. I always make the joke, it's a white male over the course of his life, right? When you look at the About Us and the careers. And so they're going to look to go in their network. So it makes it harder for black people to kind of get back in. So it's really tough from that aspect. But this economic shift is something that we've kind of seen coming. And unfortunately, we didn't see it hit quite as hard as it has the last couple of years.
And of course, with the recent movement of making diversity, equity, and inclusion a dirty word here in this country, many people are abandoning their DEI programs. Like here in the state of Texas, I think UT Austin, they fired their DEI staff. And I think total, the AP is reporting at least 100 jobs at state universities have been, they've basically gotten rid of 100 people who were part of the DEI program. With that being a dirty word now, how do you convince tech companies and other companies that diversity may help your company when they're seeing state governments say, let's get rid of diversity?
Yeah, so it's you got to be ready to have the tough and uncomfortable conversation, and you really have to be ready to talk to these tech executives about, let's truly get to the point of what you're trying to deliver, right? We see this a lot of time in tech, is speaking to the business value of anything that you're trying to do, whatever kind of investment, specifically around DEI. Number one, let's put all the cards on the table. Like, are you intentional about wanting to do something about this? There are companies and executives that do actually want to take steps. What we're seeing right now, this fight against DEI, is the actual efforts from back in 2020 when all these companies just wanted to do the next cool thing and do a big PR stunt and say, hey, we're not the bad guys, we support. But there wasn't really a lot of intent behind it. Mm-hmm. They just wanted to put some things together and look like they were trying to do something. So now the conversation is like, okay, you have skills shortage, you have skills gaps. Let's start to look at how we can fill those things in, right? That means you've got to increase a pipeline to have access to more talent to be able to fill this. If you're having trouble filling current roles based on the pipeline you're looking at, well, I mean, logic would say expand your pipeline. So let's expand that pipeline of the talent you're looking at. Let's do so by looking in other areas, which are rich areas such as HBCUs, where you can find engineers, young engineers coming out and ready to bring into your system. But you got to be willing to take the steps and expand that pipeline. So it's a hard-hitting conversation based on facts and mapping their current problems to how they can solve it. When you start to talk to executives in that nature, now you can kind of get past the problem. You can't make it a polarizing problem. It's not a left and right problem. It comes down to, you need to fill certain holes, you need to fill certain gaps. Let's widen your pool. Let's start looking at the places where we can go and get more talent.
So how do you get past that, though, when you have the stigma of DEI and individuals saying anyone who comes to us under diversity, equity, and inclusion may not be adequately qualified? Here in the state of Texas, the Attorney General asked for an investigation into Boeing's problems, the plane maker. Mm-hmm, and he said he wanted to see if one of their subcontractors hired people based on diversity, equity, and inclusion. So now it has that stigma of people who come under that, then they're not qualified. because someone says so, because it's the cool thing to say now. So how do you get those tech companies to look beyond all of that noise and say, this is what we need to do?
Right, because you combat that with actual facts, right? So you separate oh, this is all DEI, they're not qualified, to go, okay, well, you can look at those examples where they say, well, we did this because of DEI efforts, which means then let's start looking at your hiring practices. Why would you have hired somebody and not done the normal checks and not look for qualifications just to say it was DEI? So you fight that with let's start looking at your hiring practices then, right? And say, no, what we're telling you to do and what we're talking about doing to expand this, to create, better jobs and to have DEI be an after effect is, no, we're going to increase your qualified pool of candidates by increasing the area that you're looking at. And if you're saying, well, I don't want this to be DEI, then what you're telling me is, well, your hiring practices say that if you're afraid this to be a DEI problem, that you're not actually looking at the qualifications, you're looking at something else to determine whether or not you make a hire. So when I hear that, that tells me you don't have thorough hiring practices, that you've made decisions based off of some very stereotypical attributes and said, oh, well, this is why I'm going to hire this person and tag them. So I come back with facts and go, well, let's actually look at your hiring process and develop actual, real, unbiased steps to hiring practices to combat this problem.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. We continue our conversation about the racial disparities in the U.S. job market. And David, what can consumers out there do, mainly Black consumers, if they are engaging or doing business with a company and it lacks diversity? How can they make their voices be heard?
By using their dollar, right? And it's always been the case, right? So support where you want to support. You see a company and you look at it and say, hey, I don't think this is a very diverse company. Don't spend your money there. Take your money somewhere else, right? Spend it where you feel like it's a more diverse effort, or you feel a company's making a better effort than another one, right? And that's always been the case. And I know people say that and say, oh, well, it's easy to say this company, this, or whatever, but your dollar is powerful. Like across the board, African Americans in this country spend upwards of $1.2 trillion in a part of our GDP. So the Black dollar is very, very powerful. Use it wisely.
All right, David Lee, Chief Evangelist and Visionary for Tech Diversity. Thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. And like you said, we have some work to do with the number of African Americans, Blacks here in America, the number going up when it comes to unemployment. We appreciate your time tonight, sir.